Hello everyone, this is CJ982 and today we're back for another brand new video. And ladies and gentlemen, you're about to go on a run where you see me quite often. I do apologise about that, and I guess I should maybe address the elephant in the room and the fact that we are announcing Liam Kelly as a Rangers player. Welcome, big man, welcome home. In fact, shortly after I put out the rumour video regarding Kenny McLean, I had 99.9% of the comment section screaming angrily at me, praying it wasn't true. And I get it, ladies and gentlemen. I understand your frustrations. I know it's no sexy. I know it's no a name I've never heard of before. I know it's no maybe the other side of the trading model, and maybe even Liam Kelly fits into that sort of mould, as well as it's not a, oh wow, it's this type of sightings. But again, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going ahead and bringing in young laddies and exciting talents and high exciting prospects, we need experience. We need leaders. We need guys that's been captains elsewhere, that knows the responsibilities. That more dressing room leaders in this Rangers team, the better. Not only what they were last season, where for me there wasn't enough leaders. That's why it continually went wrong when the toughest parts of the season ended up coming. You needed leaders there. So not only do I think the likes of Liam Kenny and Kenny McLean, when he does come up the road, would have been a benefit to this team, but now you're looking at it, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting rid of a lot of experienced players. And if things go the way I'm expecting it to go, or maybe what I've heard about this, or what I've heard about this, there is a lack of experienced players in this Rangers team. I know it's fun, and in FIFA and Football Manager we sign all 20, 21 year olds and it all goes well and it all goes great, so we think that's the model. But you do need the boring signings, you do need the tried and tested, you do need the experienced players sprinkled throughout a team. And I think Liam Kelly especially ticks that mould. Again, is he going to get much game time? Probably no, but what he is an experienced player that can help a young, very young dressing room. You know what I mean? They didn't just talk to the goalkeepers, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why a lot of people were saying, what's he going to be able to tell Jack Butland? It's not just about that. He can go and help the other team as well. He's working with them every single day. It's about building it up, and I think you're going to have to look at these types of signings and maybe be a wee bit like, why are we doing this? We've got guys, we might not have guys when certain transfer windows opens, when certain transfer windows ends this summer's. A, B, C might not be here. So this is another step in the right direction to put experience and leaders and a team that's probably going to need them in the next couple of weeks. So didn't shoot the messenger, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of people's not very happy, and I guess a lot of people will be like this regarding Liam Kelly, but I think he's going to tick a very important box in many different aspects of this club. And honestly, truthfully, I think he's a good goalkeeper. Like, you know, I've said that many times. I'm not saying it because he used to play for us. I'm not saying this because he was linked with us for a long time, or maybe I got a wee bit of nod that he was coming up the road a wee bit earlier than most. I'm not saying that. If you've watched this channel and watched preview videos and discussion videos, we've talked a lot about Liam Kelly. I think as a terms of a shot stopper, he is up there with the best in the league, if not the best, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? Jackie Butland's just at a different level to everyone, but if you're looking at overall, I think he is probably the best what Scottish football can actually offer in terms of the shot stopping. Phenomenal at time wasting as well, by the way. If you want to come up the road and if you do get some game time and you need the time waste, like, I will cheer it rather than cry my eyes out and shake with frustration at the fact that this man can take 48 minutes to take a goal kick. But in terms of an actual player, I think he's a very good goalie. So to everyone saying why we getting him, again, we just have to sometimes be a wee bit patient and see the vision. We've not got 5 goalies on the books or 4 goalies on the book. Right, McLaughlin is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Robbie McCrory will be gone very, very soon. Comes in at that number 2, and if Liam Kelly is who I think he is, and I think he is, that type of mentality, he'll be sitting looking at the goalie gloves, not just happy to be here and pick up a wage and sit there and not play. This is a 28-year-old goalkeeper who's a Scotland international that's trying to get game time in the international. He's pushing on that there. He'll be bringing on these gloves, troops, and looking at Jack Butland saying, aye, I dare you to make a mistake, because he's going to go in there and push him. Now again, for me, who's better, Jack Butland or Liam Kelly? I'm going Jackie Butland right away. But if I'm honest, I'm not seeing Liam Kelly get an opportunity in a Rangers shirt just yet. It could be an interesting year or two against how long Butland stays here, and how far Liam Kelly can push him. And then you add in the old captaincy debacle. So it's an interesting one for Liam Kelly and his motivations for coming up the road. It surely can't just be money. That's not the type of player that he actually is, or what we can actually hear. I mean, this is a guy that signed a temporal contract with Motherwell because he went to the Euros to make sure that they get a wee bit of money, because obviously the clubs get paid if a player of the club is away playing at the international. That's the type of guy he is, you know what I mean? He's not a money merchant, he's not this. He's doing that out the goodies back. He didn't need to, you know what I mean? He's a free agent. Could have went up the roads, could have just chilled and then came up. But no, he wanted to give back to the team that gave him an opportunity and a chance to pull on the goalie gloves when, again, his career hit a little bit of a standstill. After bursting onto the scene at Livingston, after earning that move down to QPR, it was supposed to be it. He never got a chance here for whatever reason, despite a couple big penalty saves, a couple good performances. He was never trusted to be the number one, and he was stuck in limbo waiting to play games. It was Motherwell that gave him a chance originally with a loan before purchasing him, and I think he's gave back in the way. And it's funny to look at the way like Motherwell fans think like the likes of Liam Kelly, but then Aberdeen fans are foaming at the mouth. They want this, they want that, they're screaming, they're saying, I hope they die and everything like that. I hope he crashes his car, because Connor Barron, who's a free agent, signed for Rangers. Meanwhile, you've got Liam Kelly, who's a free agent, signing for Rangers. I was like, the guy gave his best, and we wish him all the best. One was a captain, one was a prospect. Why is it that way? Scottish football. But I guess circling the old wagons, just to finish up my talking point and going to this one. I know people are like, I don't care, he's probably never going to play. I think he is going to be a vital signing, not only what he can do on the park when he does get to play with potentially cup games, but the leadership aspect and how he's able to help and motivate players in that dressing room. You know what I mean? He's wore the armband for a long time. He's been in the firing line and everything like that. He gets what this club is all about. He could be a very, very vital cog in the old machine. And every single successful Rangers team, people like to say, it was built on a Scottish core. It was done this, and absolutely, you are all right on that. But you know what? It also had a very strong 1-2 punch in terms of the goalkeeping position and two characters in your goalkeeping position, and now you really truly have that with two vocal leaders in there, and that is very exciting for me as a football club, and that's truthfully how I feel regarding that talking point. Now, of course, we did make a rumour video, a full rumour video, what was it, over 5 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago, regarding Liam Kelly, and I just said we need to be a wee bit patient with it, and that's probably going to be the same with like the Kenny McLeans and the certain other striker from Morocco that people are interested in, or the German winger, or some of the other signings. Sometimes it does take a wee bit of time, and Liam Kelly obviously took its time. But in case you think I'm just going to sit here and repeat the exact same stuff and give you the breakdown, we're already mixed up quite a lot already in today's video, as again new signings actually unfog the picture and take away the rumour aspect, so you can really dive actually into the signings. And for those that didn't see the rumour video and you're like, right, can you actually start talking about Liam Kelly a little bit so I know a wee bit more? I'm going to try and bridge that gap so everyone leaves a little bit happier regarding the latest signing at this club. But we're going to jump right to the old numbers and stats rather than talking about a player profile, because we all know who he is, you know what I mean? We've all been frustrated by him, we've all been impressed by him, we've all been annoyed by him, and I think when you're up against someone, if you're feeling those emotions, you've usually done pretty well. And I can't remember or thinking of a Liam Kelly clanger, or that's embarrassing for Liam Kelly. No, it's been, I'm sick of playing this guy, why does he keep doing that? So it tells you he's got a wee bit about him. So let's get into the old numbers and stats then, shall we? In total, he played 42 games in all competitions for Motherwell last season, having played 0 minutes or 0 games at the latest Euros after getting the call from Stevie Clarke, in which he sat behind Papadopoulos Angus Gunn. But the less said about Stevie Clarke's record-breaking Euro disaster, the better then, shall we? Let's pull it in to club football, because this is where this man is actually excelled. Again, we said he played 42 games in all competitions. He did concede 62 goals and only kept 5 clean sheets. And again, if this was a player that we had never heard of before, or a goalie we had never heard of before, and people's checking that stats and statistic, you will look at that and go, that is guff. But this is what we always talk about. Stats are great sometimes, right? It can help give you a feeling on a player, you know what I mean? The way we did with Lammers, the way we did, well, people, they can be very good and they can paint a picture a little bit, but they never tell the full story, because that is so disingenuous to sit and say Liam Kelly's a bad goalie because what, he conceded 62 goals and only kept 5 clean sheets. He's playing for Motherwell troops, right? No disrespect to Gogsy FC, but he's playing for Motherwell and they were absolutely bogging this season. You know what I mean? They just had nothing in front of them. They were allowing shot after shot. Look at the amount of shots per game they allowed on their goal. Now, granted, they obviously beat us at Ibrox, but to be fair, that was a lot of that was down to Liam Kelly's phenomenal wonder saves, and aye, I've still never forgiven it, Liam Kelly. Hopefully, you pay me back in the next season or two. But again, in terms of our overall season, you can have one high or one good game in terms of that as a overall club. But Motherwell has been poor, and they do allow a hell of a lot of shots, so the man's been incredibly busy. And something we talked about in terms of Connor Barron as well, when we talked about consistency and an inconsistent side, well, that is Liam Kelly down to a very T, and that's why it's harsh to judge him on stats and statistics, because he is playing for a side that concede so many shots. And if you look at his save percentage and everything, it is very impressive, ladies and gentlemen. So aye, the stats aren't pretty, but the player has been in the trenches battling and fighting year upon year for that club. And for me, truthfully, again, nobody's interested in this or anything, but I'd be worried about Motherwell going into the next year or two, because Liam Kelly has been such a vital piece. McGabby's been such an important piece. They've lost both of them right now. Van Veen the year before. I'd be really worried, especially defensively now, because where they were always vulnerable, they had a very good goalie and a very powerful centre-half. They've lost both of them, ladies and gentlemen. They've lost their captain in Kelly. I'd genuinely be worried if I was a Motherwell fan, and I think that shows you the importance of Kelly and how well he's actually played. And the big man's truthfully done a wee bit of everything during his time at Motherwell. You know what I mean? He's won Player of the Month, he's won SPFL Player of the Month, he's won Player of the Year during his time with the Steelmen throughout his 154 games in all competitions, conceding 221 goals and keeping 35 clean sheets, which again isn't the greatest stats and statistics, but he's a goalkeeper playing for Motherwell. Trips, you know what I mean? Let's be fair. The one stat that doesn't make sense to me and actually frustrates me the more I think about it is how this man's only been booked 15 times in his entire... I can think of 15 occasions in the last 4 games. That man should have been booked for his time wasting, right? He's absolutely excels, and he well and truly learned from the Alan McGregor school of shithousery. That's the player he is, you know what I mean? People can look at Butland and say he's better A, B, and C, D. Absolutely, Butland is better than that. But do you know who the shithouse king is? The new shithouse king at Rangers. It's that man right there. And I'm trying to let it go, you know what I mean? I'm obviously scarred with the amount of points he's took off us away during his time wasting and only playing about 10 minutes in Real Fit. But I'm trying to let it go, Liam. And I appreciate it. And I guess I need to wait to see doing it for Rangers. Then I'll get over it. Bye. But somehow this man's only been booked 15 times. What's going on? But as we did for the Kenny McLean video, let's take a step back and look at some actual numbers when you look at a CV. Look at that experience, shall we? At the age of 28 years old, which is actually still young for a goalkeeper, if we're being honest. He has played 352 games, keeping 74 clean sheets, which actually, to be fair to him, as much as I've talked round the assists and that, the fact that he somehow averages a clean sheet every 4.7, 4.8 games of his career, considering the clubs that he's played for, you know what I mean, Livingston, QPR and Motherwell, it's probably a bit of a credit to him in that aspect when you look at the entire piece, not only just how bad Motherwell were in the most recent season. And now we get to the old competition for places, which does feel a bit null and void these days. You know what I mean? I rubbished this 5-6 weeks ago. We're signing Kelly to replace Butland, blah blah blah. Oh my god, it's time to hit the panic stations. I tried to quell that fire and tell people it was nonsense just to relax, but people freaked out anyway. And I think now, as we're getting closer to the season restart, you know what I mean, we're back to pre-season, we're hearing who's the captain, blah, 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 we're hearing all the rumblings. I think it's quite clear that Jack Butland will remain the #1 with Rangers. It's going to be awkward in August, isn't it, when he's away? I feel it. This is a clip. This is a clip, ladies and gentlemen, but right now, I'm 99.8. It's dropped 0.2, now that I've said it out loud. That Jack Butland will remain here is the Rangers goalkeeper, and Jack Butland comes in there as a #2 again to challenge him, keep him on his toes, press him, because that's the personality he is, you know what I mean? He's learned from McGregor. He'll be talking shit, he'll be trying to get there, he'll be pushing there, he'll know I'm a young lad and I'm just happy to be here and I've played 7 games for Rangers. No disrespect to Robbie McCrory, but I never felt like, you know, when he was putting the fire in the arse of Jack Butland to stay at the top of his game, because Jack Butland was phenomenal. Then he started to peter out, and then that's when you need a #2 right there troops to be chopping at his heels, waiting to play, talking crap, pushing him so he goes back up to that. Well, now we've got that type of mentality, not only for the goalkeeping position, but that type of mentality that will hold people responsible and hold people accountable when you play and wear this crest on your chest. Kelly is that type of player, ladies and gentlemen. He learned very well for some of the very best, and I think we need more of the personalities. No, that he'd doing thumbs up still. Nah, he'll be screaming in that dressing room, whether he's playing or not. He'll be helping to lead in the background, and that's going to be vital, especially if things go the way I'm expecting to go over the next couple of weeks, and experienced player after experienced player after experienced player and after experienced player are all moved on. And truthfully, that's all I've got to say about the Liam Kelly video. I know there's not going to be any interest in this because you've already heard me talk about him and people aren't really interested in Liam Kelly, but I really like it. I like him as a goalie. He's pissed me off for years. I think he's the right type of mentality and he's the type of guy that I want in an actual dressing room, and I think this is going to be a very, very shrewd bit of business from Rangers in my personal opinion. Not only does it tick a box on a quota for Scottish registration, but ticks a big box for me with what I want in a Rangers dressing room and just something in there. But that's my thoughts on it. If you didn't mind hitting that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated because again, not many people's actually going to watch today's video, but any help would be greatly appreciated, and let me know your thoughts on the latest signing. Now it's officially confirmed, Liam Kelly is here. Are you happy, sad, mad or glad? Let me know down in the comment section below, and as always, I've been Siege 92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best and bye bye.